Today is the battle of the neighborhoods. Let's build a car-reliant neighborhood and then a pedestrian-friendly neighborhood in Cities Skylines 2. All while I show you some more things that I am loving about this game. Let's get started. First thing, let's move our elementary school from here to here. Now, some of you had asked me, can we place a building diagonal, since I've done that a lot in my builds before with Move It, and yes, you can. You just turn off snapping, you put down your ploppable building where you want to, but now you have the problem of road access. But you can just use a small little road like this or a larger road if you want to. Place your access right at the front and then watch this. We're just gonna make a nice little curve, and thanks to the new road tools, look, it connects it for you. I think we can do this a bit cleaner, but how cool is that? So yes, you can put a building on an angle. I really love this. I think it looks really great. Okay, let's detail this elementary school up and make it look really snazzy. I really love the elementary school here. I feel like this is a much better location, and I got to put a building on an angle and show you how to do that. I think it's super cute. We're gonna jump over to the other side of our farms and start our car-reliant neighborhood. It's an old mill. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Okay, let's do something creative with this. Recently on my channel in my new Cities Skylines 1 series, Cider River, which is a fall theme build, thank you Mr. Mason, I just did a video all about the history of trailer parks, which was so fascinating. I learned so much when I was researching for that project. If you have some time to check it out, it's really very shocking, the history of trailer parks. But I was so excited because in Cities Skylines 2, some of the low density residential American style looks like modern mobile homes, and they are the cutest things. So I thought it would be really fun to take this car dependent part of the map. We're away from the city center, we're on the other side of the farms. You know, it's just residential out here, right? It would be very car dependent. So I thought it would be the perfect place to build a modern mobile home park, and it just fit in perfectly with the vibe of this corner of the map that we're on. And then there was this old mill, which was just perfect, and I'm gonna tie it in and make this basically a giant park space. But with this mobile home park, we're just gonna do 2x4, and we're gonna let everything zone in, and then we'll fill in the blank spaces. That way we get exactly the buildings that we want. We are going to add 1 or 2 commercial buildings because, as you know, I build people first cities. So even though this is a car dependent neighborhood, we are still gonna try to make it walkable and provide a little shop or something around so that people could walk to get a gallon of milk or something like that. And another tip that I used here is you can use paths to force zoning to go where you want to, just like you would have used fences in Cities Skylines 1. So it's a nice little hack and very helpful. The other thing is we have all these lovely little small parks. So I was able to fit a couple in here, which I think would just be nice amenities for a more fancier mobile home park, which I was really excited about as well. So we have a nice little selection. We've got the basketball court, the dog park, a nice little park with a gazebo, and a playground. So that plus a couple shops, we've really made a car dependent neighborhood that's actually very pedestrian friendly, but that's just my style. Oh my gosh, look at how adorable these are. Are these not the cutest little manufactured homes you've ever seen? Look at the fencing, the bush detailing, the little porches, the light inside the houses. I'm just obsessed. I think they are adorable. adorable. We've got the little corner shop here with the basketball court and the dog park. Yes, it's a car dependent area, but my gosh, it is absolutely adorable. One downside in Cities Skylines 2 is you cannot mark buildings historical, so eventually all of these level up. But I still think, even though they're all the way leveled up, they still have a bit of a mobile or a manufactured home vibe. So while I miss the original cute little buildings, I think these work just as well. And I do hope that we have an option in the future to make homes historical so we can keep a certain aesthetic as we're building up our cities. Okay, now that our low density neighborhood, car dependent neighborhood is humming along, I want to put in the welfare office. I think this building is so beautiful. I really love it. The other thing I think that would fit really nice back here is the park maintenance building. This building is really, really pretty. I love it, especially compared to the park maintenance building in Cities Skylines 1, which I do like, but I just really like this a lot. Just the way that the asset is detailed, just really appreciate it. And it's just a really nice looking building too. It really could fit into just about any type of an area. So I really appreciate that. And then of course we've got our courthouse here lined up with the end of our couplet. Of course our couplet is continuing, but we kind of made this giant square roundabout that our couplet lands into, which I actually really like. And then I'm just adding this city park, which I think it's such a nice park. It's got like this place where you could have like outdoor concerts or events. I think it's very pretty. And so I'm just adding in some more trees and lining this with some paths. Speaking of detailing, before I started in on moving the elementary school, I spent some time off camera detailing the city entrance so you can see all the bushes and trees and path work I put in, and I want to show you what it looks like now. And here it is. I love seeing all the trees full grown. And you'll notice the pedestrian bridge across the road is much lower. There was a suggestion in the comments about that. I agreed. I wasn't familiar with the mechanic enough, but I figured it out. And I just love this city entrance now. All the trees full grown, all the bushes. I was able to use the pedestrian road, just a little nub of it here, to create this cute little bus turnaround, which I just think looks so adorable. Does the bus look a little awkward because it comes in circles and it's kind of too big? Yes, but I think it works really well aesthetically. And there's just little things like this that I'm finding that you can really do in the game from a detailing perspective. I just really, really hope we get the mechanic of full-grown trees, because look at the difference. This place just feels so different now. And I love seeing all the trees full grown. And it was definitely worth it to let the game run to get that so that you guys could see that in the video today. But I hope you like our new city entrance. All right, and then we need to start thinking about buses. Public transportation is going to be really important, especially for our newly car-dependent neighborhood. They're going to be able to walk to the bus. That's going to be really important to me. So this is the bus depot. I think it, again, such a lovely building. I think it just fits here really nicely. And let's take a look at these bus stops. Oh my gosh, these are so cute. So there's the American, which is kind of the flat square, and then the European is the rounded. I really like the European. And then here's the other two bus stops. So yeah, I love that we have options now for that. Okay, we're waiting for the buses. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, look! It comes out of the garage. That is so cute. I love that they're just solidly, the colors I put on them, they're so bright. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed. So no, I didn't show you in this video how to set up your buses. So Toadie is going to be doing that in her video. So if you haven't watched that yet, watch hers after this. Also, Biffa is doing a more detailed look at the trams, which I'm also excited to watch that. So the way that the transit works in this game, every transit has a depot that you have to put down, then you place your bus stops, then you place your lines. So they all work very similarly, and I'm sure I will show how to do that at some point on my channel, but there's just others in the community that are already going to be doing that with their video today, so I thought I would give a little shout to them. Next thing we're going to do is put in the large stadium here, and this centers perfectly. Oh my gosh, again, like such a beautiful asset. I'm just going to line this with park paths just to kind of make it really clean. I love how easy these are to put together, these new paths. They're really lovely. But let's take a look at the details in this stadium. I love that even like the little tracks are numbered. Oh my gosh, I think it's so nice. Okay, we could use some more parking back here, so let's get some parking in. Okay, and we might as well continue our grid here, our Superblock grid here, and bring in a little bit more of the low density and also the mid density kind of row housing. I think that will look really nice over here. This is starting to really fill out. Okay, and then we're just going to continue. We have our park next to our mobile or manufactured home community, so we're just going to hook in to that, so this whole riverfront can be just a really lovely park space. Now we've got a good amount of demand, so we can start filling out on this side here. So we've got some office demand, some commercial, and then I think this is the perfect place for some of that mixed zoning, which I really like. I think it looks so cool. Now in this city center area we've put together, this building right here is one of the special buildings that you get for free. It's really pretty, and it just fit in so nicely here across from the cemetery and near the courthouse and the park. And I'm just adding in this basketball court here, which is super cute. If we can, the no snapping is really helpful, but it can be a little tricky, but it works pretty well. So I'm just going around and doing a little bit of detailing around our kind of core area here and getting this filled in before we move over into our pedestrian only area. So this was the original Superblock grid, the same one we did when we first started. I thought I was going to use this for the pedestrian only zone. I did in the beginning. I let it fill in and I just wasn't happy with it. It just didn't look right to me. So I scratched the whole thing and started over. So of course I'm still going with the grid. I'm still sticking with the theme of the Superblocks. The roads that we do have coming in to this area, on each side there's one way, so there's one going in and one going out. We do have these thin roads in between, so a car could travel around, so it's not 100% pedestrian like the way I wanted it, but the zoning was being really tricky and I did want really nice square zoning, so these smaller streets really helped me accomplish that. So in the center I put the mixed zoning, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. It looks so cool to have all the little shops on the bottom and then the apartments up top. I think it's something that we've all wanted in Cities Skylines so much, and the fact that we actually have it in Cities Skylines too is really exciting. Now, full disclosure, it did take a while to get in the buildings that I wanted, and so I did have to play with the zoning a little bit and just spend some time running the game to allow this area to completely fill in, because I wanted to see what it was going to look like, to know if I was on the right track this time with this layout. And I was so pleased with how it turned out. And even though it did take some time and some finagling and some other zoning, I think like the demand bar you really have to pay attention to. Unlike in Cities Skylines 1, you can kind of get away with it, but because the residential is based on either low, mid, or high, you do have, it's just not like, you can't just put like any residential zoning, and if there's demand, it'll fill in. Like, so you do have to pay attention to it a little bit more, but I do appreciate that we have all the different demands. And there did come a point where I felt like I crossed that kind of threshold where then I just had the demand I needed to finish the project. It just took a little longer than I'm used to from Cities Skylines 1, but I'm so happy with how this pedestrian area came together. As I was waiting for all the zoning to come in on the pedestrian neighborhood, this little corner to me looked absolutely perfect to really, again, focus on people first and bring in some more amenities for the citizens here. So I brought in the American football field, and of course had to bring in some more parking with that as well. And then I also brought in the soccer field, or some of you would call it a football field. And then I also brought in the community pool and just really filled out this corner, since there wasn't enough room on this corner to do another true full Superblock area. I took advantage to just make this a recreational place, and I really like how it turned out. After all of the zoning came in, I went around and added trees and bushes and little parks and additional zoning where needed, and just really made this pedestrian area sparkle through some landscaping. I will say I have a better idea now of what trees to place, because I know what they look like full grown, but I will say I so appreciate that we got contour lines. That was amazing, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed for ploppable full grown trees, because I think it makes a huge difference in how a space feels, and it's just nice to have a better understanding when you put down a tree how much space it's going to take up visually and what it's going to look like. So I do hope that's something that we end up getting. But the fact that we got contour lines, just again, it just confirms that they're listening to us, and this game just has so much potential. And as it is right now, it is so much fun to play, and I'm just having a blast. And I can just imagine once we have a few more things, us detailers are just gonna be so happy. So I'm excited for what the future holds for Cities Skylines 2. Now, this is a Superblock. These kind of large pedestrian areas in the center, you've got your entire Superblock. So imagine this Superblock, but there's like 9 of them all together. That would be so cool. But I'm so happy with how this turned out. It was really fun to do this in Cities Skylines 2. With the way that it's set up, it is pretty perfect for doing this type of a project. And I just love seeing everyone walking around and all the little shops and the apartment buildings. I just could not be more happy with how this area turns out and how it feels. It just is awesome. One of the main questions from my first video was, why'd you put the garbage dump on the river? And I don't know why. You guys are so right. And it was very interesting because someone in my Discord was telling me about a garbage dump that got repurposed and turned into parkland. So what we're gonna do, I've laid out another Superblock here to mimic what we already have. I'm gonna open up some space all in the middle we are going to put down a new dump and a recycling center, and then we'll start emptying the old one. And then once that's emptied, we can delete it, and then we will reclaim that land and make it a beautiful park space for all of our citizens. Now I'm going to put this recycle center right in the corner here, and I love that we can draw these out so cleanly, attaching to nodes. So I am going to fill the rest of this area with this, I know it's strange, I said it last time, super cute garbage dump. I just love how clean we can now draw these out. Also with the industries, I love the functionality of this tool, and I already see that it can probably be used for a lot of other things too, which makes me really excited for the future. Now currently in our city, we just have the farming on the other side of the map, and we have this lovely resource here for stone mining, so I think we should take advantage of it. I'm going to move the recycle center over, we'll clear out some space, and then we'll put in a small stone mining industry. Again, I'm a huge fan of this tool. And take a close look at this recycling center. I love this building. I love all the buildings in this game. And there comes the little recycling truck. Oh my gosh, so cute. A few other things I did off camera while I was waiting for our pedestrian neighborhood to fill out is I went ahead and filled in the zoning in between the sports parks I put in and our other city center Superblock area. So I think that filled out really nicely. I had more of a demand for low residential, but I'm hoping to swap those out for some row housing or some smaller apartment buildings. I feel like they would fit better in the area in the long run. The other thing I want to show you guys is look at how adorable this community pool is. I love that there's definitely like changing rooms and like an office space, and you've got the high dive and the pool. I just really appreciate all the details that went into this. As an attempt to get the residential area to fill in our pedestrian zone, I did put down the radio mast. There are upgrades for this. This isn't going to stay here. I think in the next episode we'll figure out an appropriate place for it and give it all its upgrades. Also next time we are going to create an interchange here and connect in, so that way the island isn't just one giant cul-de-sac, and I'm really excited. Next time the goal is going to be to complete our Superblock Island city. I am so excited. I was also so happy to finally have enough money and feel like the city was humming enough long enough that I could switch out and put in this water treatment plant, which again, just another beautiful building. And I really love how this city is coming together. But we need to look at our two neighborhoods to see who's winning the battle of the neighborhoods. Okay, we are going to use the district tool for the first time, which I'm really excited about. So this is also really pleasing. You just can attach to nodes. You can draw the cleanest district. No more painting a district, which is so great. Looks like I messed that up. So you can just grab this and change the size at any time. And let's see how this neighborhood is doing. And it looks like everyone's content. That makes me so happy. We do have a lot of uneducated and poorly educated, but that's because we don't have a university in this city yet, so we're gonna get on that for next time. But overall, this is a nice mixture of demographics of ages that are living in the neighborhood, and everyone's content. Okay, now let's check out our pedestrian-only neighborhood. I just love this district tool. It is so easy to use. And everyone here is content. Wow, look at the amount of seniors. Now, I bet this is because I was able to fit in some of the low-income housing in this area. Now, the low-income housing is really tricky. What I have learned is to zone small and mix them in amongst other buildings worked really well for me. Otherwise, they tend to abandon pretty quickly. But Joy, what neighborhood wins the Battle of the Neighborhoods? Well, that's up to you. There's a community poll on my channel right now. So when you're finished with this video, head over there and vote. Do you want this upscale mobile home park to win or the pedestrian-friendly Superblock? So vote for your favorite and let's see next time who wins the Battle of the Neighborhoods. I want to give a special shout out to my channel members, Josh, Page of Aquarius, Flyvox, and Pilot Build Cities. I appreciate you all so much. And just so you know, yes, I have a YouTube membership, and every single Saturday there is a private Discord stream. We're building a city together live. You can come hang out and chat with me, and I do it every Saturday morning. It's so much fun. So feel free to come join us if that's something that you would enjoy doing. Also, I have a Discord that I run with 5 other amazing city skyline builders. We run it as a collective. So come join that. It's free. Come chat with me about everything Cities Skylines too. I hope you all have a joyful day, and I'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.